Hello and welcome back. I got my hands on a traditional German Lebkuchen recipe, so I thought now would be a good time to try that out, except make it vegan. So I have all my ingredients mostly prepared, but I still need to grind some of the spices because I only had unground version of these ones. So I'm gonna work on grinding this. And the recipe is in German. And I am learning German right now, but I don't have quite enough skill yet to completely know what it means, so I translated some of it. And I'm gonna do my best with the ingredients that I have on hand. I halved the recipe because the original recipe I think makes a lot of cookies, and I don't have enough ingredients for that, so I halved it and I'm gonna give it a try. And I feel like the spices are one of the most important parts of an authentic Lebkuchen or gingerbread or whatever Pfefferkuchen you're making. So I tried to be as close to the original spices as I could and the original ingredients. But you can't just go out here and buy Lebkuchengewürz in the store here, so I have to make it myself. So I'm just kind of doing my best. And this is a mixture of coriander seeds, cardamom, star anise, cinnamon, and cloves. So I'm not sure how well grinding these spices by hand is gonna work, because they're still pretty chunky in here. See if anything goes through there. Oh, there's a little bit going through. It's not working very well though. If I had like a proper spice grinder, that would be the best. So I'm trying out this flour sifter to see if I can get the big chunks out of the spice mixture. Okay, so definitely next time I would buy the pre-ground spices. I'm gonna put them all together in this bowl. It's not perfect. But we will give it a try. So, from my impressions of this recipe from just reading it so far, it seems that Lebkuchen is, people often compare it to gingerbread, but I have found a few differences between Lebkuchen and the gingerbread I've made before, and that is that gingerbread has some different spices. Like this recipe for Lebkuchen doesn't even have ginger in it, and also gingerbread has molasses in it often, I have found. So let's take a look at this recipe. Butter mit Honig und Zucker schmelzen, bis sich der Zucker ausgelöst hat. So I need to melt the honey and the sugar, I presume, over some heat. And the butter. Butter, honey, and sugar. And I'm using maple syrup instead of honey because I'm vegan and that's what I have. And I'm using vegan butter. And I'm using, I think I'm gonna use allulose if I have enough. and if not, I'll supplement with erythritol because I try to avoid refined sugar. So I got my butter, vegan butter, in the pot. Here's some maple syrup and erythritol and allulose instead of sugar. And I'm gonna heat this over the stove and melt it together. All right, so now my butter, sugar, maple syrup mixture is melted, so I'm just gonna let that cool until I need it for the next step. So I'm gonna move on to the next step of the recipe. So I need to dissolve the Hirschhornsalz, which is something that we don't have here, but it's similar to baking soda, I think, so I'm just gonna use baking soda. I'm gonna try it anyway. I need to dissolve it in 1 tablespoon of cold water and mix with the eggs. Baking soda. I've never done this before in a recipe, so I don't know if it's something specifically for the Hirschhornsalz or what, but I'm just gonna give it a try. And the recipe calls for 2 eggs, and I'm substituting the eggs with this just egg, and I've been doing it in some other recipes, and it seems to work really well. So I'm gonna use 2 tablespoons per egg. So I need 4 tablespoons. And then it says to mix the Lebkuchen Gewürz, the Lebkuchen spices with the flour. So I already measured the flour. I'm putting the spices in there. And then I'll mix it together. It smells pretty good. Maybe it could use some more spices because I wasn't really able to grind, I think, enough that I needed. So I'm gonna add a little bit more cinnamon to make up for that. And next time I would buy the ground spices for sure. Gonna check this part of the recipe.
Mix flour and gingerbread spice in a second bowl. 5. Gradually stir the flour mixture into the honey butter sugar mixture. Dear, first add a little less flour to the dough. He gets even firmer when he is completely cold, or buy the additional flour from the worktop when rolling out. 6. Let it rest wrapped in cling film, fridge, or process directly.
Okay. So I need to add the flour into the butter. I think I was supposed to add the baking soda and eggs to the butter mixture, so maybe I'll just add that now. There's a piece of spices in here. I think it's pretty good. It's not very sweet, and it could use more spices, probably. But I like that it's not very sweet. I halved the amount of sugar that it called for, even for the halved recipe. So probably that's why. But I think I like it that way. It says you can put it in the fridge and chill it, or you can use it right away. So for the sake of time, since I don't have that much time, I think I'll do it right away. So this, I think this is okay. It might need a little bit more liquid. Going to flour the work surface. Actually, I should do something more clever. Do this on top of the baking sheet. That way I won't destroy the cookies when I try to transfer them. Yeah, I think this needs a little bit more moisture. I think I'll add more maple syrup to this because it could use a little bit more sweetness. And that'll provide some more cohesiveness to the dough as well. Just gonna mix it with my hand. Oh no. The dough doesn't hold together very well. I'm sure that's some error on my part. Probably if I chilled the dough beforehand it would be better, but for the sake of time, I'm just gonna do it this way. And the recipe says you can roll it out 2 millimeters for cookies and 3 millimeters for larger shapes, larger cookies. I think I need to like put even more liquid in here. That looks better. And I do not have any cookie cutters here as far as I know, so I'm going to use maybe a glass just to make circle shapes. I'll try this. Oh yeah, that works pretty dang well, actually. I've never used a glass to cut cookies out. Oh, that one didn't come up. There we go. It just takes a little bit of finesse. Then it says to brush it with egg wash. So I'm just gonna put some of this on top. It's interesting to do recipes from other cultures because while I think a lot of our traditions come from Germany and from other European countries, they're similar, but there's some ways of doing things that just seem really different from what I am used to, and I think that's fascinating. My hands are clean, by the way. So next, it says to decorate with the almonds, and I blanched some almonds previously, and I just need to cut them in half, and then I can decorate the Lebkuchen with them. Just the sliced in half blanched almonds. I'm just gonna put 3 almonds on top in a flower-like pattern. I'm gonna do some more sheets of these cookies and I'll get back to you. Alright, so I'm gonna put my cookies in the oven for 9 or 10 minutes. And now I'll let them cool. So the cookies have been cooling for a little while, so I think I will try them now. Let's pick a good one. They're very good. I like the spice profile of them. It's not quite the same as a traditional American gingerbread, and I like that. It's almost like a more mild, lighter flavor, not as robust. I could see how maybe I didn't put the right amount of spices in or the right ratio, but I really like it the way it is, but maybe if I was truer to the recipe it would taste slightly different. But yeah, it's really, really nice. And also I'd be interested to see how this compares to the original, because the original has non-vegan ingredients in it, which I'm told, especially the honey, because the original has honey in it, I'm told that honey is a very important part of it. So it'd be interesting to see how close this one is to the original. I would have to have my boyfriend try it and compare. I like the different spices that are in there. It has a lot of cardamom flavor, which I really love. And I like the different spices such as the coriander and the anise that you don't usually find in American gingerbread. And I would also say they're softer than gingerbread. Overall, really nice. I would definitely make this recipe again. I recommend this if you have never tried Lebkuchen before. And I'm told that every family has their own recipe, their own secret recipe, so I think there's a lot of ways that people make this, and I used the secret recipe. Feel free to subscribe if you like this video. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.